Hi, it's Dylan Morrison here. Welcome to this, my 6th talk in the Desire series entitled Religion. In my last talk, we concluded that all human culture is constructed on the building blocks of ritual, myths, laws, and structures. Those mechanisms constructed by mankind to rechannel the destructive effects of imitative or mimetic desire. Shockingly, culture in all its multifarious manifestations has its origins in the violence birthed by rivalry within the competitive human community. Culture is mankind's attempt at capping or keeping a lid on the desire explosion and its resulting destructive violence by means of the selection of a scapegoat, a victimized individual or group, held accountable for the flaws of the whole community. In this talk, I wish to look at the topic of religion and its hidden association with such a scapegoat mechanism. First, let me make a somewhat bold and perhaps shocking statement. Culture and religion are identical. Now, culture, with all its inherent self-importance, would faint at such an alleged association. Religion, oblivious to its own self-righteousness, but proud of its sacred separateness, would pooh-pooh such a blasphemous thought. And yet, both religion and culture consist of the same 4 safety mechanisms adopted to neutralize violence and its destructive potential, namely ritual, myth, law, and structure. All religion is therefore cultural, and all culture inherently religious. Only the differing terminologies given to their shared mechanisms appear to separate them in the eyes of an unaware mankind. Religion always sets up camp in the realm of the scapegoaters, namely the community that acts as judge and jury in a morality game played in response to internal desire conflicts. Faith, on the other hand, or perhaps more accurately trust, is the realm of the scapegoats, those victims upon whom blame for the community's failings have fallen, with tragic consequences. Violence is the seedbed in which religion and its accompanying manifestations take root. Let me explain. In the foundational era of our human species, once intercommunal violence had raised its ugly head, an other or scapegoat was selected to act as a lightning conductor for the said violence. The group mantra being, "Better that one die than our community destroy itself." The unfortunate victim, the devil in our midst, by means of their death appeared to restore a cathartic peace within the mob, their violence and rivalry having been totally spent. Such an apparent transcendent peace could only mean one thing. A God above was pleased with our righteous act of murder. And so, the sacred, with its underlying dynamic, was born. Clearly then, when we have religion, violence, whether physical, emotional, or verbal, will always be close by. When violence rears its destructive head, ancient religious mechanisms stir deep within our psyche souls. The nightly habit of watching the TV news becomes a religious ritual, with our self-righteous judgments on who is to blame. This fascination with violence always touches our base religious instincts, as we immediately seek out a victim for blame, rather than examine our own internal desire conflicts. As we search out potential victims via the mass media and in our close-knit circles, we're acting out of our own myth narrative, the story that reassures us that we won't be the next scapegoat to be selected by our peers and our culture. Fear of being this next victim is the essence of all religious thought and practice. The distant transcendent divinity has laws that must be obeyed and adhered to at all costs. To break them is indeed death, the scapegoat selection that none of us yearn for. Most of us, no matter what our spiritual paradigm, don't like to be considered religious. And yet every time we entertain violent thoughts, we're being drawn into the religious contagion all around us. When we try to defend our beliefs against those of the devil in our midst, we are playing our part in the hidden mimetic mob. Wearing the robes of righteousness smeared in blood, we act out our hypocritical role in this deeply religious tragedy. Many of us believe that by choosing a new brand of religion or spirituality that all shall be well, and yet scapegoating the old religious system is only to repeat its rituals, myths, laws and structures. We don't seem to be able to detach ourselves from our moral murderer within, no matter what our new spiritual worldview. The New Age devotee can be as religious as a monotheistic fundamentalist believer. The well-known atheist can be participating in the ritualistic God game as much as a fervent hellfire preacher. As modern-day society, with its rituals, myths, laws and structures, begins to implode, religion and its black and white certainties also appear to be heading for the rocks, despite many climbing feverishly into the lifeboat of fundamentalism. Can the execution of Yeshua, the Nazarene prophet, shed any light on our religious cultural predicament? Can it be interpreted without wearing the religious specs of Christian tradition, without labeling the God of the Nazarene as a violent judge, one who requires blood sacrifice from his cherished son? Well, I suspect that the truth is more shocking than we've been led to believe by 2,000 years of religious desire capping. But more of that in my next talk.